So let me tell you about a little game called Mobile Legends. It's basically a mobile ripoff of League of Legends that was released back in 2016. And at the time, everyone just laughed at it. It was a hilarious clone, a bit of a meme, but it's been no joke for Riot. They've been through the legal system in 2 separate countries and have failed to stop what they see as a blatant copy of their game. It's a strange and often funny story, but what's happened since the legal cases has been even stranger than you can possibly imagine. Alright, it's another video of games companies ripping off other games companies. It does happen quite a lot. This is perhaps one of the most intense and famous examples of that, but we talk about it a lot here on this channel, so if you don't want to miss those videos, make sure you're subscribed to theScore Esports and you'll get the clone news every week. Okay, so before we go over the lawsuit, I'm going to talk about how exactly we got to this place because it's pretty insane. Mobile Legends Bang Bang was released at the end of 2016 on mobile by Chinese publisher and developer Moonton. Now, as you can see from its launch trailer on YouTube, it looks exactly like League of Legends. 2 teams of 5 fight across 3 lanes and farm minions to eventually destroy their opponent's base. Now, I'm sure that some of you are probably already saying, yes, okay, it looks like League, but MOBAs are a popular format. Even League took heavy inspiration from Dota. That's true, but for Riot to get into a 5-year-long legal battle with Moonton, there needed to be more than just vague similarities here, and there were. They copied the Summoner's Rift map even down to where the jungle camps were. They copied the champions and their abilities. They even copied the logo. In 2017, Riot filed a lawsuit in California against Moonton for copyright infringement, trademark infringement, and false designation of origin. In the 44-page lawsuit, Riot laid out their case by saying that they actually discovered Mobile Legends while they were working to remove another of Moonton's games, Magic Rush, from the Google and Apple stores. Riot alleged that Magic Rush had copied dozens of League of Legends champions and included one glaring example, Annie from League and Emily from Magic Rush, 2 girls who harness the power of fire and a pet monster to destroy their enemies. They said that while they were working to have Magic Rush removed from the Google and Apple stores, they discovered that Moonton had been working on another League clone, Mobile Legends. Again, they included screenshots of both games for a side-by-side comparison, including the summoning platform, champion splash art, and the location of jungle camps on the minimap. It seems like they had a pretty watertight case, and Riot is a big games company who's backed by their even bigger parent company, Tencent, the biggest games company on the planet. Not only that, they had methodically laid out all the comparisons for the world to see, and it was hard to argue that Moonton was in the right here, but they didn't think so. In an official statement on the matter, they said, recently some media have published negative and unreal reports against Mobile Legends. Here is the statement of Moonton. Mobile Legends is a MOBA game that is developed by Moonton independently, and its copyright has already been registered and protected in multiple countries all over the world. Moonton has independent intellectual property rights. Mobile Legends and all the users will not be affected by these unreal reports, and we will keep providing the best gameplay experience to players all over the world. Meanwhile, for some media and competitors who have spread the unreal information and rumors against us, we reserve the right to protect ourselves and pursue legal actions. It was fighting talk. When the lawsuit got to court though, it wasn't exactly the slam dunk for Riot that everyone was expecting. At the end of 2017, those following the case were shocked to find that the Californian court had dismissed it based on the grounds of forum non-convenience. What this meant in non-legal speak is that the Californian court basically thought they weren't the best people to rule on this and suggested they take it to China. Tencent, being the Chinese owners of Riot, then filed a separate lawsuit against Moonton's CEO in China. The courts there initially only awarded Riot $388,000 US, but came back and amended that to $2.9 million. This was a blow to Moonton, but not a lethal one. Tencent was bigger, and sure, they'd won in court, but $2.9 million wasn't exactly the end of the world for them. Moonton are the second biggest games company in China behind Tencent, and for them, this was simply the price they had to pay to keep doing what they were doing. $3 million and we get to keep knocking off your game? Okay, we'll pay that. For over a year, Moonton continued as normal with Mobile Legends. They continued to release updates to the game, which mimicked what Riot were doing with League.
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
As YouTuber Nikolai pointed out in his video about all of this, the copying became almost comical at times.
Sometimes this company operates exactly one step behind Riot. Riot makes an auto chess game, Mobile Legends makes one as well. Riot decides to change the game's logo after their 10-year anniversary, and Mobile Legends changes their logo as well. Specifically, they changed their logo from this to this, which looks a little bit familiar. They even have their own bootleg champion spotlights, but it really never ends. You just have to keep looking and you'll find more odd similarities. Like back when Riot launched KDA, a K-pop music oriented skin line, Mobile Legends did the same thing, creating their own music and everything.
In 2019 though, their position as the #1 League of Legends mobile game came under threat once again. This time it wasn't from the courts, it was from Wild Rift, Riot's very own League of Legends for mobile game. When the game was finally released in beta in October 2020, it was a big success for Riot. Within just 3 days of its launch, it became the most downloaded app on the iOS platform in the countries where it was released for beta testing. It's interesting to note here that these countries included Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, Japan, South Korea, all Asian countries where mobile gaming is extremely popular. This is the market that Moonton had tried to corner with Mobile Legends, and now Riot were on their back doorstep with the real version of what they had been trying to copy for years. In 2021, Wild Rift rolled out across the world and continued to increase in popularity, and around that time, Moonton sent out a very interesting survey to its Mobile Legends players. The survey began, "Dear players, this is an online interview invitation. If you have played League of Legends Wild Rift for a long period, we will be very honored to invite you to participate." The survey then asked participants if they've ever played Wild Rift, how long for, and when the last time they played it was. I mean, this is kind of surreal. Imagine if Valve had asked CSGO players the same thing when Valorant was released. I'm not saying that CSGO and Valorant are in the same boat as all of this, but you'd be surprised if you got a survey with such probing questions about a game's biggest competition. And it seems like perhaps Moonton didn't get the answers they were hoping for. In July 2021, according to esports, a player on Onyx esports said in a since deleted livestream that Moonton is reportedly including an exclusivity clause in its contract with organizations competing in the MPL. So the MPL is the Professional Mobile Legends League with branches in the Philippines, Indonesia, Cambodia, and Malaysia, Singapore. Yes, this is a real esports league for a cloned game, just so we're all clear. On the Filipino site, they proudly declare that the MPL is the largest and most prestigious mobile games competition in Southeast Asia. So what this player was alleging was that Moonton were forcing teams in its league to sign an exclusivity contract that would prohibit them from competing in other games such as Wild Rift. The org, Onyx Esports, actually competes in a bunch of different games including Valorant, PUBG, Mobile Legends, and Wild Rift. They actually won the Wild Rift Southeast Asia Icon Series summer season, but 2 weeks after one of their players mentioned the alleged exclusivity clause, they disbanded their championship winning roster in Wild Rift. In the bigger picture, Moonton were kind of on the back foot here. Sure, they had got off lightly in the legal battle, but it seemed that Riot was ever so slowly winning the war. Just a month before all of this, Moonton had announced that they were expanding the MPL into Brazil, one of the fastest growing markets for mobile games. A 2018 report from Newzo found that over 75 million Brazilians played mobile games that year and spent $1.5 billion on them. So, where are we now? Well, despite Riot gaining a foothold in the Asian mobile gaming market, they're kind of late to their own party. You have to remember that mobile gaming has been massive in Asia for quite a while now. Sure, you might say that games like Mobile Legends are cheap knockoffs, but they've had the advantage of being around for years and do have a loyal following. Wild Rift is currently sitting at around 6 million monthly players, but it pales in comparison to Mobile Legends, which sees 78 million players log in every month. This data comes from activeplayer.io, and according to their graph, despite the large player base, you can visibly see that Mobile Legends has begun to slide a little bit since Wild Rift really took off this year. These two games clearly share a market. In fact, they couldn't share more of a market if they tried. Wild Rift is the game that Moonton set out to create all those years ago when they made Mobile Legends. Mobile Legends was safe from this kind of competition for quite a while because despite copying League of Legends, they operated on two separate platforms, PC and mobile. Now, after years of legal maneuvering and accusations, these two games share the same space. Can the two games coexist peacefully? Possibly. I mean, we've talked a lot on this channel about similarities in games like League of Legends and Dota, CSGO or Valorant, but this feels different. We've talked on this channel before about other games that have been cloned. There's Project M, the Valorant clone, and Area F2, the Rainbow Six Siege clone, and Creative Destruction, the Fortnite clone. All of those games are currently run by NetEase, a Chinese company that is basically a pro at copying games and avoiding legal ramifications due to the rather lax laws in China around intellectual property. With Mobile Legends though, Moonton are unlikely to release their stranglehold on mobile gaming, and Riot will keep pushing for a bigger piece of the pie from the game, which has been a thorn in their side for so many years. A bit of a meme, if you will. What am I saying, if you will?
You don't like that?
No, I just added it in unnecessarily. A bit of a meme, if you will.
I have myself on mute, and when you said "if you will" again after you made fun of yourself for it, I was fucking dying.
I don't know why I said it.